Of Power 4.4 Radio or Live 365. Power 4.4 Radio is not responsible for any information reported on the program. Today's show is sponsored by Mastermind Photography and Designers. Contact them for all your photography and design needs at 443-226-2429. Let them know that Power 4.4 Radio sent you and follow them on social media at JH3MM. Book your appointment today and make today last forever.
If you're moving, you should call Focus Movers. We got trucks and crews, call Focus Movers. 443-506-7905. We can handle it. We got skills to cover it all. Pack and load and take away your stress. Anywhere been there for your relocations. 24/7 services. Get a free quote. Don't miss out on it. If you're moving, you should call Focus Movers. We got trucks and crews, call Focus Movers.
Join us each and every Monday at 6 p.m. as we bring to you Ladies Night with the Hustle Queen. I'm Cinnamon.
And I'm Stoney.
And as always, keep hustling, queens.
This is Kid Kong. Tune into Tune World every Saturday from 8 to 9 p.m. on Power.
They don't want the camera.
Okay. I do it.
Hey there, this is Michael Braxton with Health Tips and Hip Hop. What's going on in your garden of health? Join me with my radio family at Power 4.4 every Wednesday from 6 p.m. until 7 p.m.
What up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Derek Darrell Dixon right here. I'm talking with 3D right here on Power 4.4, where the people are the power. Listen, I'm here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so tell a friend and make sure that you tune in, because we are always going to be sipping the coffee and spilling the tea, so don't miss it. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here, Power 4.4, because you know what? The people are the power.
Tune in to the best radio show on planet Earth, SME, from 6 to 7 every Tuesday. We're truly undefeated and can't be beat. Even though the show is called SME, it's not just about me. We work as a team to build our dream.
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Salt and pepper and heavy D up in the limousine. Hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rap attack, Mr. Magic Molly Mall.
It's your boy, your host, King JTH, and my host today are co-host Cole. My guest for today is
Mr. James Dickerson.
How are you doing on this lovely day?
I'm doing well.
Today we're going to start off with the interview, and then we're going to get into some more takes. So, Cole, you can start off with the first question that you had for Mr. James.
Did you have any other interests before you became a barber?
Yes, I wanted to be a DJ.
What made you want to be a DJ?
Because back in the day, you know, Run DMC and everybody was popular, and so everybody wanted to like learn how to spin and all that, and I thought that was real cool. So I thought that would be one of the areas that I would want to pursue. So I took a class in broadcasting, and they had us reading commercials and all that. I thought it was just playing music and getting on the mic and rapping and all that, but it was more to broadcasting than I thought.
Okay. Specifically, the first question you asked, you want to ask him that?
I'd like to. What other, when you're at work, who else is with you when you're doing haircuts for people?
I have 11 other barbers that work in the barbershop. By the way, my barbershop is called, the name of the barbershop is Perfect Gentleman's Barbershop, LLC. It's located at 22224 North Packer Street, Baltimore, Maryland, down by Lexington Market.
Nice. Are they pretty talented?
Yeah, we have very talented barbers. We do designs, and we do a number of other things with hair, and we have a beauty salon on the other side.
That's pretty cool. Who inspired you to become a barber?
My sister my sister, she suggested that I go to barber school, and the thought process was, if I went and got a barber license and my sister did hair, we can open up a barbershop beauty salon and be successful. So, she encouraged me to go to barber school, and once I went to school, it was an instant marriage.
Okay, I have a question, and this is not even on my script. What is your favorite part about being a barber? Your favorite part about cutting hair?
Making money. The goal to any business is to make money. So it's like barbering was a great opportunity to get paid. And one thing about barbering is right after you get done doing the haircut, you get paid as soon as you get done. So that means it was like instant gratification. Like as soon as you got done, the people paid you. So the money went in your pocket.
How did you find your confidence to be a barber?
I went to barber school. When you first go to school, it's not that easy, because you're in school with other students. So you have a license to mess people's hair up. So, you have an instructor there that when you mess up, they're there to fix the haircut. And then you just watch what they do and how they did it. And then, you begin to perform what they just did. And so it kind of like the more you do, the better you get. And, there's no such thing as a perfect haircut, because hair is going to grow back within the next week or whatever. So, you just keep going. Your confidence builds, and you can tell by how good you are by your client base. How many customers are sitting in the chair at the receptionist area waiting for you, to cut their hair.
What was it like having your first customer and doing their haircut?
It was terrifying. It was scary, because you're in a barbershop and you got the clippers in your hand. You got all the tools. People have, you've been to school. They taught you how to do it. But then when you get that first customer and you're not sure if you're going to mess them up or whatever, so you have to take your time. And I think, I think it took me maybe about an hour and 15 minutes to cut my first hair, because I was afraid. I was scared. But when the guy got out the chair, he was happy. That's the main thing.
How difficult would you say it is to cut hair and own a business, a barbershop business, and to expand as well?
Cutting hair is easy. Owning a business is the hard part, because you have to be able to manage other people. But even before you get to the part of managing other people, to own a business, you have to be able to identify that that's what you want to do, because you got to remember that if you don't work, you don't get paid. So you have to have a passion. That means you have to get up. I had to open the barbershop. I had to close the barbershop. If the plumbing breaks down, you got to be the plumber. Electricity breaks down, you got to find the electrician. Entrepreneurship is not what everybody think it is, that you just getting paid, but you have to wear many hats to be a successful entrepreneur.
Who inspired you to become a barber, or what inspired you?
What inspired me to become a barber? Like I said, my sister said, let's go to, why don't you go to barber school? So I went to barber school. When I went to barber school, the instructor of the school told me that I was going to be successful because he said I was a people person. And by me being a people person, it's like no matter who sat in the chair, I could relate to them. I could talk to them. I had good people skills. My communication to them. I had good people skills. My communication with them was very good. And even one thing about barbering, even if you mess somebody up, you still got to sell the haircut. So you have to find a way to make them, to please the person. The opportunity doesn't present itself all the time. So when you get that opportunity, you got to take advantage of it.
Okay. One question that I said before, I should have been more specific about, was when I was saying what's your favorite thing about being a barber? Like, I was also thinking of other things like barbershop talk. Do you enjoy that? And what are your favorite? Yeah, barbershop talk is just you go into the barbershop. Y'all might talk about sports or music or girls or whatever. What's your favorite topics to talk about during those barbershop talk times? Because I know you have a lot of them.
The shop talk in the barbershop is whatever's going on in the community at the time. So like right now it would be the P. Diddy thing. You know, the P. Diddy thing is like real popular. Everybody have their opinion. Then the video came out, and so everybody have their different opinion on the statute of limitations on should you have statute of limitations on assault or should you not. But those are the kind of conversations that you have. But not only that though, I think that when you are young and you go in the barbershop, you're kind of scared, and so different people are talking about different things. So the barbershop can become a very therapeutic atmosphere where if the owner of the shop is doing what he's supposed to do, you don't let people walk out with misinformation. If somebody says something that's stupid, you address it.
Yeah, that led me perfectly to my next question. What do you think about all of the P. Diddy allegations? I'm not going to go in depth, but y'all can go check it out yourself.
I just think that, that what he did was wrong. The videotape came out. And one thing about life is whatever you do in the dark, it's going to come to light. You know what I mean? So if you think you're being slick and you think you're doing something that you're getting away with, as sure as there's a God in heaven, that the coverage will be snatched off of you. You know what I mean? And me being a Christian man, not saying that I live, a holier than thou life, because I have been out there in the streets. I've been on the corner before I became a barber. So I did get the opportunity to live that other side. And it's been a blessing to me to be able to help other people, in barbering most of the barbers that I hire are barbers that have been in jail, been on drugs, or they've been homeless. I have 19 barbers that have their own shop. I'm a master barber, so I train. I know this. I do what I do, and I'm good at it.
Okay. I'll ask specifically about the house raids and I'm just going to say the parties. What do you specifically think about that? Then we're going to go on to Cole.
When you say house raids, explain, when you say house raids, what do you mean?
Well, several of his houses got raided by the feds over the last few weeks.
Well, I think that's just, the life that you live, you got to understand that, whatever life is karma, whatever you do is going to come back around on you. So for them to be able to raid his house, I'll say this, if they raid your house and you don't have nothing going on, you don't have to worry about nothing. Just because they raid it don't mean that that you've done something wrong. That means that they're looking to find something. That doesn't mean that you necessarily did something wrong just because they raid your house. But if you don't have nothing in there and you don't have nothing to worry about.
Imani is up next.
Have you ever wanted to do anything differently besides barbering?
Nah, well, I did. Like I said, I wanted to be a DJ, but then after I got into went to the school and learned what it was all about. Took the class and learned what it was all about. Once I put my hand on the clippers, it was an instant marriage. I knew barbering was what I wanted to do because I became very successful at it. I like the cutting the hair and the getting paid right after you get done. I worked other jobs. I was a laborer for a concrete company, and I was like doing laboring. I was outside 105-degree weather. I didn't like it. Picking up bricks, stacking them. Then as soon as they get done, you got to take them down and stack them over here. When they get done, you got to stack them over there. And I just did not like that. And I prayed to God. I said, God, please put me somewhere where I could be inside where it was air conditioned. And then I got the call that somebody said, my sister said, won't you go to barber school? And I was like, it's inside. So it was air conditioned. So I said maybe that would be something for me. But then once I went to school and the director of the school said, James, you would be successful. I knew barbering was good for me because it was an opportunity. It became a ministry. It became a way that at my church, I'm a mentor. So every boy has to go through the barbershop. So therefore, it's an opportunity for you to be able to meet people, mentor them, and be mentored because I found my mentors as I became the owner of the shop. And, it showed me how to become successful.
I already asked the question.
Oh.
Do you have any interesting stories about your experience as a barber?
Interesting stories. I have a lot of interesting stories, but I'll tell you this one. One time, a guy comes into the barbershop and he has a high top fade, and we were in barber school, and the guy who was cutting his hair, he worked as a correctional officer, and he had a sleeping disorder. So the guy who had the high top fade got in his chair. He put the cape on him. He began to put the clippers on the top of his head. When he was going across the top, he dropped the clippers into the guy's head. He actually fell asleep. And he dropped the clippers, and the guy ended up having to get a close haircut. He had to cut his high top fade down, and the guy was cussing in the barbershop. He wanted to fight. He was literally pissed off. And you know, that was one of them experiences that I was saying, good. I was happy that it happened to him and it didn't happen to me. But that was just one of those experiences that, you know, in barbering, there will come a time where you will be faced with some adversity, and you have to be able to deal with it without it blowing up in the barbershop. And for that guy, you know, the way that the instructor calmed him down was he told him that his next haircut he would have to pay for the next 6 months. And the guy was kind of happy about that.
Do you have any favorite hairstyles or trends at the moment?
Do I have? Nah, I'm just the basic crow bodies. To me, I'm just the basic crow bodies. To me, hair grows back every week. So when you get caught up in, like, you know, a certain hairstyle or whatever, you got to remember that your finances have to be able to support that haircut. And a good haircut is a haircut that don't look like you got a haircut. If it look like you got a haircut, then you can't keep that up. So a good haircut is one that you just consistently go every week, and when people look at you, they be like, "Oh, you look the same." You know, that's a good haircut to me.
Have you tried any new hair cutting techniques?
As a barber, we go to, they have different conventions that you go to upgrade your skill. And so you have to have money to be able to go and keep up with the industry, as far as they have like hair shows and all that. So you go to the hair shows, and when you go to the hair shows, you see different hairstyles, and you know, if it works for you, like right now, you know, a man can get a weave and put a whole new like high top fade haircut, you know, through a weave. When back in the day you couldn't do that. So in order to do that, but it pays big money though.
That is all my questions. Here's Cole.
Were there did you when you were a barber, did you work for any other barber shops?
Yeah, when I first got out of barber school, I went to work in a barber shop before I owned my own shop. And I went to the interview, and the guy asked me questions like, how many days of school did you miss? And I was like, well, I wonder what that got to do with me working in the shop. But what he was saying to me was, if you can't go to school when I was in school, and if I was missing school during the school time, then I would miss school, I would miss work. So one of the things about barbering is that, you know, like people don't think about it, but whatever your track record is and your attendance is in school, the way you act in school, what you do in school, the way you act, your character, that's what you take into the barbershop. So who you are is what you are. And if it's something that you need to fix, you need to work on it now so that, you know, it will help you become successful later.
What's the tool that you use when you cut people's hair?
One of the best tools are called the outliners, and that's the clipper that you use like after you get done doing a haircut. You can have a haircut that's not so good, but when we begin to shape you up and we make that outline look real sharp, I don't care what people say. When that outline, when your shape up is sharp, people say you got a nice haircut.
When you make them look sharp with the clippers, what are their response?
Well, their response is you can tell if you do a good job because they show it in the tip.
Yeah.
Like the haircut might cost $20, and they give you if the haircut is $20, $25, and they give you $35, that means you did a real good job. But if they just give you $25, they be like, you know, well, it was all right. But the goal is to always try to get more than what to work to give the person your best, and then try to get as much as you can get.
What is the main thing that you love about being a barber?
Like I said, the main thing I like about being a barber is, one, you're your own boss. You know what I mean? As a barber, you work under the umbrella of the shop that you work in. but you're an independent contractor. And by you being an independent contractor, you are responsible for you. So if you don't go to work, you don't get paid. If you mess up people's haircuts, you don't get paid. You know what I mean? So therefore, you have to sharpen your skill. You have to be on your job. You have to know what you're doing, have the confidence of what you're doing, and then sell it. It's just like a person selling a newspaper. You have to sell the haircut just like the doctor sells you to come to his office. It's in any field, you have to have the confidence to be able to sell yourself as an entrepreneur.
Were there any barbers that were hard to work with at times?
Sure. I mean, like different people. I remember when I had to fire my first barber. When I fired him, he was tough. I thought he was tough, but it came to a point where I said to the guy, I said, look, if me and you don't get along, one of us got to go. And because I own the shop, I'm not going nowhere. And that means that I had to fire him. And when I told him that he was fired, he done something that I wasn't expecting. He started crying. And I thought this was the toughest barber I've ever been around. Mm-hmm. But what I found out was that, nobody had never confronted him with opposition. And I fired him, and I ended up giving him a second chance. And he became one of my best barbers.
That's good. That led me perfectly to my next question. Tell us more about Barber Expo, about the whole.
No, that's not his.
Tell me more about just like everything you want to tell us about your business. You can tell us about.
Okay, so one thing about barbering is to be the owner of the shop. There are 3 things that you need in place in order to be successful in barbering. The first thing is you need an accountant. You have to have an accountant. An accountant is going to help you to manage your books, pay your bills, help you with your taxes and all that. You're going to need an accountant. Second thing you're going to need is a lawyer. You need a lawyer because you have to set up how you want to set up your business, whether you want to be a sole proprietor or whether you want to be a partner or whether you want to be a LLC, an independent contractor or whatever. And the third thing you need is insurance. Most small businesses fail because they don't have insurance. And the insurance is something that keeps your business afloat. It's not just, it helps you if somebody come in your shop and you fall. You got insurance, you don't have to worry. They're not suing you, they're suing the insurance company. But that's why you have insurance. So 3 things that are indispensable is a lawyer, an accountant, and an insurance agent. Once you get them 3 people together, then you need a business plan. All you do is sit them 3 people down and you tell them what you want to do. They write the business plan for you. You tell them how you want to do it, what you want to do, and they begin to structure your business plan. Once you get the business plan done, you submit that to the bank. The bank look at your business plan and they give you the loan to open up your business. And that's the way my business got started. I go to New Psalmist Baptist Church. At the time, the church was building a new church. And the same people that worked on the committee with the church, I got them to help me to put my business plan together. And it became very successful. 40 years later, I'm still in business. I'm still helping people. And it's the best thing that I ever did.
That is some very great information you just gave us. What is your main goal, your main focus in your overall life?
I think my main goal and my overall focus is to help somebody else. It's like I'm not from Baltimore. I'm from Wilmington, Delaware. I came down here. I went to barber school. People freely gave me information. And because they freely gave it to me and I became successful, my life and my life goals are to help somebody else. Like I said, I have 19 barbers that have their own shop. And I feel like that's my purpose in life, is to make life better for somebody else, even though it can be tough, but to be there, not just to put them out, help them open a business and then put them out. But once you start working with people, you have to stay around to help them become successful, because anybody knows that in entrepreneurship, business goes up and down. It's like you could be up 1 year and the next year you're down, and you need friends. You need people that will be able to support you. And in order to have those people support you, you got to be able to support other people. And when you do that, you set up a support system that helps you become successful in life. And that's not just barbering. That's just life on life skills.
What are some things you struggled with during your career, and why do you think you struggled with them? And what did you do to overcome those struggles?
I think, some of the things that I struggled with, early on was my relationship with God. I had to seek an intense relationship with God because at some point I thought I was doing it. I thought I was the man. And then all of a sudden you get to a point where what you're doing doesn't work. So you have to reach out to a power greater than yourself. And when you hit your knees and you start talking to God, miracles happen. Things happen that you can't explain. And you didn't do it. God put somebody in your life to help you. So, I think that, my struggles was, my relationship with God, learning how to deal with people, learning how, like, when I first opened my barbershop, the barbers used to say that James run a boot camp. and what that mean was you couldn't do nothing wrong. If you done something wrong, I chastise you. But then as I learned that in barbering, because we rented chairs, nothing's going on but the rent. And if you got an empty chair and ain't nobody paying you for it, then you ain't making no money. So therefore, if I got somebody in there, and even though they gave me some backlash or whatever, every Saturday when they pay me that booth rent, that means that's my success. And I had to learn that because I thought that me running the barbershop, everything got to go my way. No, everything doesn't have to go my way today. Another thing about me is when you come to work for me, if you get arrested, I'll come get you the first time out of jail, because what I learned is that if you show people that you care about their welfare, people will come and they will be with you and they will be loyal to you. And that's what, that's part of what has made me successful also.
I'm so glad that you mentioned that. You can go back and look at my rap. Last week I said, even though I'm really the man, I still need somebody to lean on. Still need God to lean on. All of that. And I'm glad that you talked about expanding or getting, like, I think you specifically said, like, getting, like, others involved, because this show has expanded way beyond sports. Sports is still my main thing, but if it wasn't for my co-host, and I'll say this live on air, if it wasn't for my co-host suggesting to me, hey, let's do some things outside of sports, we wouldn't have you here today. We wouldn't have had a hair owner in here. We wouldn't have had Miss Dr. Ted Sutton. We probably wouldn't have the raps, or we might not even had a song that I put out last week. So I have to really thank my co-host for helping me, really to help show that I can be, I would be glad to just be Stephen A. Smith and talk about sports all day, but they really help show that I can be more than that. I can be greater than that. I'm not stuck in one lane. So I guess my next question would be, what advice would you consider to give barbers in the future? And then I'm gonna pass it back off to Numani.
What advice would I give? I think the best advice that you can give to anybody is to always, first, I would say, whatever job God gave you to do it 110%, no matter what it is. If you empty trash cans, be the best trash can emptier you could be. If you're a barber, be the best that you could be. The second thing that I would say is, whatever it is, always help somebody else. Don't always look for something for yourself. Always try to give back to somebody else, to be there for somebody, because you don't know when you're going to need somebody to be there for you. And I think that, in doing those things, the universe and God will help you to become successful.
Okay. I guess Cole can go.
I was wondering, how long have you been a barber?
I've been a barber for 42 years.
42. Wow, I thought it was 40.
Well, I've been a barber for 42 years, but I'm saying I've been a barber for 42 years, but I own a business for 40.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, I'll go. What else? What other work would you have done? With giving haircuts to people. I think. Who else do you think? Yeah. It's different. How long? No, it's a different question. When you played sport, I'm gonna do that. When you played sports, did you want to pursue it professionally?
Well, sure. I'm saying when I was 6 years old and I played basketball, I wanted to be Michael Jordan. I wanted to be Magic Johnson, but at being short and only being like 4'9" or whatever, I knew I wasn't gifted to be a good basketball player because I wasn't 13 and 6'9". If you got those skills, then chances are your chances of becoming a professional basketball player is great. But when you don't have that size, you have to find other things. You have to, in other words, even in life, no matter what you're doing, you always have to find yourself. You always find yourself reinventing yourself. You always got to be willing to reinvent yourself. If you're doing something for 40 years and it's not working, then you need to try something else. It doesn't make sense to keep doing one thing and you're not going nowhere. So you have to have the ability to be able to look at yourself and say, this is not working, let me try something else. And that comes from being able to reinvent yourself and go at life, full throttle.
What was the hardest thing to adapt to elevate your business?
Like I said, I think the hardest thing for me to do to adapt in my business was learning that everything doesn't have to go my way. Just because you own the business don't mean that the buck stops there. Because like I said, nothing's going on but the rent. If you got a whole shop and you don't have no barbers in there, you just got a nice barber shop. You ain't got nobody in there making money. So you have to be able to adapt to bring people in to motivate them to be able to come to work and to be able to cut hair and to make money. And you have to make money, but also you have to let them make money also.
Okay, I know you're about to leave, so this is really the last question I have for you. What advice would you give all of us moving forward?
Okay, so what I would give to y'all is I'm impressed with your podcast. I'm impressed with the questions. I just think that you have to have passion for what you do. You mentioned Stephen L. Smith. You being a host, you pick one of the top people, so that let me know that you on top of your game because you pick somebody that is he has the #1 show, a sports show. So, but I would say continue to do your research, study your craft, have passion for what you're doing, and don't let nobody tell you that you can't do it. That's the main thing. No matter what happens, if you know God laid that on your heart to do that, if God gave it to you, God will fulfill it through you. Don't let people tell you or chop you down or tell you just because you have a bad segment or you have a bad day in the podcast or you might have a bad show doesn't mean that that's going to be the show for the rest of your life. That's just one bad show. And you will have shows or you will have opposition in days that things don't go the way that you want them to go. You have to be able to go to sleep, wake up, and hit the ground running again. That would be the best advice I can give you. Never stop doing what you're doing.
Thanks, Cole. I think Cole wants to add something, but if he doesn't, we can let you go. But I'll add one more. It's not a question, but I'll add one more thing. We had to adapt today.
Exactly.
So I'm really glad that you said that. I really appreciate all of the advice that you gave us. So Cole can wrap this up.
This is a what-if question.
Mm-hmm.
So if Michael Jordan came to your haircut business, how would you feel about that and giving him a haircut?
If Michael Jordan came to my business, that means every TV station in the world would be at my barbershop because Michael Jordan is there. Just on the fact that Michael Jordan is there, I wouldn't have to do nothing else. Perfect Gentleman would be on the map. Wherever Michael Jordan goes, and because of his success, wherever he goes, success goes with him. So if he came to my barbershop, I'm the man.
Oh yeah,
You're the man for him.
Man, shit. I gotta ask it. What's the main sports topics y'all be asking? Y'all be talking about in the barbershop?
Okay, so right now the main topic in the barbershop is Javante Davis. He got a fight coming up. He from Baltimore, and his fight is in June. And it's like because he's from Baltimore and because of his success, it's like if you look at him and you say he's successful in boxing. Whatever it is that you do, you have to be successful. But that's the conversation. The conversation is, the NBA playoffs are now. Boston is going up against Indiana. I like the Timberwolves. I like Ant-Man. And so all of the sports talk right now. Dallas playing the Timberwolves is going to be a good series, and Indiana playing Boston. And I have a friend, Sam Cassell is like a friend of mine. I go to his gym at over at the Under Armour Center. He comes over there, so we get to. I get to ask a friend of his questions about how he feel about the NBA, and he was just interviewed for the Lakers job. So I pray to God that Sam gets the Lakers head coaching job.
That's a blessing. I know there's a lot of GOAT talk in there too.
Yeah.
But if you gotta go, you can. But you're welcome to stay. I got a lot of things just off the top of my head I can ask you. But I understand you might have somewhere to go, so it was great having you on. Everybody can applaud.
All right.
Okay. So now, hot takes. Does anybody have any hot takes? And I'll go last. It can be about anything.
All right. Thank y'all.
We can start with Imani.
I don't have any.
Cole, do you have any hot takes?
Let me think about it. I need to think about it first before I can tell you.
Mr. J, do you have any hot takes for the week?
Yes, we're in OTAs, which means the Ravens is back at it. We're back working. I can't wait till the season start. So we just signed Quadre Ismail's son, so I'm excited to see what he brings to the table. Yeah, I'm just excited because football season is like right around the corner.
Yeah, to me.
And I heard the Orioles are doing good. So.
Oh yeah, I hope they win the championship this year because last year they went the whole season without getting swept, and then they got swept by the Texas Rangers. The Rangers came out of nowhere to wind up winning the World Series. Yeah. But I hope that experience, just like what we're seeing with the NBA, which I'm about to get into because I have an NBA hot take. Hopefully that experience, losing, will help them learn how to win this upcoming season. And hopefully the Orioles and the Ravens can win the Super Bowl. Win the championships this year.
Yeah.
I didn't put that in there because it would have been a clear bias to why I would say that.
Yeah.
But,
so what else we had? We had everybody the Diddy talk, like he just said, is like hot.
Oh yeah, I got that on my trending specifically.
Which my thing is that what he did was wrong, and that's something he got to answer to God on. That ain't my responsibility to judge him or whatever he did, but hopefully he's getting himself together and getting himself right, whereas though he could be right because he has kids and he has daughters, so. Just
his kids still defending him. That's how much they love him still.
But
what he did was wrong.
I mean, I would want my kid to defend me too. Even if you're wrong. I mean, it's just you want somebody on your side. You know what I'm saying? Because he might have been going through a dark moment. He might have been going through depression. He might have been going through being bipolar. Nobody understands that there's plenty of things that could have been wrong with that situation. Not making excuses for him, but there's plenty of things mental health. We all talked mental health on the show a couple weeks ago. So mentally, he could have been going through something that no one knows. So that's why I said for me, it's not my personal business to judge him based off of a video. the media are going to do that. But the thing is that for me is me, because again I'm a Christian, so it's like me. My job is to pray for him and hope that he make himself better. Mm-hmm. It's not to chastise him, because I could be chastised right now for half of the stuff I've done in life. I'm just being real.
We probably all can.
I'm being real, and a lot of people that are out there doing that. We don't know what's going on behind these closed doors with everybody in the world. Some of these people could be doing the very same thing, but out here pointing the finger at him because he's doing it. He had did it, which the video was like from 2016. He could have had an intervention where as though he changed his whole mentality of life. I know when I hit 40, Javante.
You don't look 40. You look like you're 30.
When I hit 40, I went through a whole change of life. I just reflected on my life on my birthday. Yeah. No, I'm 44.
What?
Yes, sir.
You look like you're 34. Like, I'm not even lying.
No. So it's like when you reach a certain point in your life, it's just like you have to change yourself. Nobody can change you but you.
That's true. Like,
nobody can change anything about any one of us but you.
I will say this.
Because if you do it for someone else, like if I change for Mr. Jaggers, right? I'm going to go back to myself eventually, because it wasn't something for me. But once it's for you, you'll change for the good.
Yeah. The fact that it took 8 years for the clip to come out shows how powerful this man is, how scary that situation has to be for that lady.
I mean,
8 years, like,
someone could have like threatened to expose it, but Diddy's a millionaire. He can probably just probably just pay people to not give it out.
Yeah, that is so scary that someone has that much power. That's what I'm saying. That's so scary that someone has that much power.
Yeah, I mean, and I wouldn't say it was particularly just gag orders or anything like that. Sometimes things just get swept under the rug. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fame. You know what I'm saying? Like we witnessed this with Ray Rice. The Ravens tried to sweep this under the rug. They really did. They gave this man a lot of opportunity until the video came out showing the footage, and then they said, "Ship aboard, we gone. We tried." But they backed him. They backed Ray Rice up until the footage came out. If you remember that, because you're a Ravens fan.
I remember that.
The Ravens defended Ray Rice to the core.
A lot of other people gotten opportunities. Like I want, I hate name dropping, but it's a wide receiver. He's probably the best wide receiver in the league. He's out there in Miami. He wear number 10. He got a second opportunity. So they do favor.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just I think a lot of it depends on what you see, because when people when the public sees and the opposition of the media, which we are media, we take it and spin it a whole different way. So now we get people that we're able to change their thought process and say, this is wrong. And then everybody just say, oh, it's wrong.
Oh, both is wrong. I'm just saying they favor people.
But the thing is that just think in life that everybody deserves a second chance, a choice, and until you can't damage no more. And again, we're not put on this earth to judge people. We're put on this earth to try and make people better and help people. That should be most of our purposes in life, is to try to help people get through, because not everybody was raised properly. We don't know his household. His mom could have got abused and he's seen it and he became an abuser. There's so many scenarios that could be uncovered here that we never talk that probably won't get talked about.
Oh yeah. That was great from Mr. J. Thank you a lot. Mr. Jaggers, do you have any hot takes other week? Because I know you had the election hot take last week.
Oh,
I guess
about that.
I guess my question is, how many of you voted? How many of you really took the time to research some of the candidates that were running, and And when you research them, really found out what issues that they stood for or that helped represent you the best. And be honest. Tell me what you all actually did in that area.
I vote like I'm gonna say, like I said like last week. I voted for the people who physically can't go up and do it themselves. I to the best of my ability, I looked at each candidate and I picked who I felt like was the lesser of two evils. And that is my stance because I hate politics, but I love to answer every question on the show. If anybody else want to go, they can go.
I'm not 18 yet, so I couldn't vote.
Did you still get any information on any of the candidates just so that you can know the process?
For the 2024 election.
Uh-huh.
Well, definitely not voting for Trump.
Okay.
But then...
Why not? Because of what you heard or what you know yourself?
I mean, Trump isn't the... Okay. None of them are the best, actually. If we're being honest, none of them are the best.
Okay.
All of them are all... First of all, Trump is the worst. But all of them are all bad in their own way. I'm so shocked at the fact that after everything that Trump did and the stuff that he's like, the trials that he has, I'm still surprised that he can still run. You just have to be a certain, like, so you could be any age. What really surprised me was that you could be any age. As long as you're 60, you're going for president. That really shocked me. Like, you can't be young. You have to be in your 60s to run.
And a lot of people don't even make it that
I
far.
don't think you have to be in your 60s.
No, you gotta be 35, I think, to run for president. Somebody can Google it. I do think it's 35.
Because I didn't think you had to be in your 60s.
I know you got to be old.
Wasn't President Obama?
Obama was like 40 something. I think you just gotta be 35 years old.
In fact, he was one of the youngest.
I think
him and John F. Kennedy, if I'm not mistaken.
He was either the youngest or the second youngest. Definitely top 3 though. Also, you know, if Mr. Mr. Jagger's comfortable, y'all could give y'all intel and y'all don't have to say who y'all vote for, but like kind of like the same question that Mr. Jaggers was saying.
I'm gonna be honest this year because I can't ask y'all to be honest. And then
No, I was honest.
I didn't vote this year. I
don't blame you.
Well, it wasn't like a choice. It was just more so I just didn't have time to do it. I didn't make time to do it. And that was pretty much it. But part of it also was I didn't get a chance to research some of the other candidates towards the end, like the Senate's. I will say it's crazy how when you look at the media projections, they had Sheila Dickerson way over Brandon Scott, right? But the voting that actually took place, he actually won by a long shot, which confuses me a little bit because everybody say they love Sheila Dickerson, but she didn't get a lot of votes. And Brandon Scott, everybody said he was doing a horrible job. To now they're voting for him again still. So the thing I don't understand, but we all talked about this with the Diddy situation, is second chances. Sheila Dickerson then tried to get, what's this, like our fourth time? It's like our third or fourth time that she's tried to run, and the public just keeps saying no. So should that be for her to give up or keep going? Because we all talk about you should keep going.
You never really know until the results are there, but I think it's her decision. Like,
if it was you, what would you do?
And I'm glad you brought this up. Like, cause even with the show, like if I looked at, you know, if I've done everything that I physically, mentally, emotionally could do, and it didn't work out, then I had to regroup, adapt, or maybe slightly change my field. Maybe instead of maybe try to go on a lower level of politics.
Well, I think it's a perseverance thing. The guest that was just here, he just told you never let anybody tell you not to do.
That's true.
If you follow what I'm saying, so
But
maybe it's just not the right time for her. Is what I'm thinking.
You know, one thing that I and this is what I really believe. God is a God of a second chance, and a third chance, and a fourth chance. He gives you. If we all look at our lives, and we look at where we have come from in terms of things that we have done, what has gone on in our past, we can see all the failures, but God sees that He sets us up to win. Now, whether you make that choice or not, He gives us an opportunity to win. And President Obama was 47 when he became president.
Wow.
47. So he was one of the youngest presidents in the United States. And I say that to you all so that you all can also say that you're going to have some ups and downs. You're going to have some things that hit you hard that make you want to stop. But you have to keep persevering and pressing on because He is a God of a second chance. That's all I mean, that's what I'm really telling you all, is that He gives you another opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
That's the truth.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm so glad
So,
for all the intel. Oh, Imani.
There's another. So I just checked the news, right? Diddy got sued again for sexually assaulting another girl.
Well, once one comes out, you can assume there's going to be 5, 10, maybe 15. Just think about Bill Cosby, R. Kelly, Harvey Weinstein.
But why did people wait until
Trump? Once one comes, you can expect 5 more.
But why did people wait until 2003? What was that? 22 years ago?
Well, it's a couple of things. One is a lot of times they have documents that say you can't do anything until 6 years, 8 years,
in
10
NDA?
years. Right, NDAs. And so, that's one of the things that we have to know, that we're not able to always be that, just like this show. If we say something on here, everybody knows, right? Everybody knows. But if we actually do something that we have a order that says we cannot do anything until after 2004, 2005, or whatever, we can be sued if we do. That's why even this whole thing with Trump came out after the
NDA.
Right. It was over with, from what I understand. So that's what we have to look at. You never know what's going to happen, and it's that first person that comes out that's the hardest, because you're going up against high odds when you do this.
Yeah, I'm ready.
It's that first person.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Also, I know we were talking about Diddy a lot, but DJ Academics, he's a guy who breaks down lyrics and stuff on YouTube. He was also accused of sexual assault and several other things as well. So it's crazy that we were talking about that. I'm gonna briefly go over my hot takes, and then I'm gonna close out with a little a snippet. It's just a snippet of a freestyle that I played. I ain't gonna do the whole thing. Since we didn't get the rappers in there, because I was keeping the whole thing for the rappers. So my hot takes is the NBA is currently has more parity than the NFL. Modern female rappers are more relevant than modern male rappers. The WNBA will become the third most popular sport in America, right behind the NFL and the NBA. Angela Reese will win Rookie of the Year over Caitlin Clark, and Marvin Harrison Jr. will surpass his father one day.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh yeah. So I had a different question, but I don't think we got time for this. Mr. J gonna put on a beat, and I'm gonna give you a little snippet of a freestyle that I had. King JTH back on the track. Y'all know that I stay on the attack. Like KC, I just went back to back. I'm like LT when I get on the mic, and I ain't even trying to be cocky. It's just the fact that I know y'all can't stop me. I'm still gonna get the sack, but this time around, it's just without the crack. As for me and Michael Breston, the best to ever do it, man. These other shows are wet. We'll sweep them like the T-Wolves to the Suns, man. And like how they just did the Nuggets. They'll straight up get smacked with a paddle, because it's really like that. This ain't even a battle. They tried to mess me up, I ain't even get rattled. Don't tell 6 to 9 a gun or nothing, man. You know they finna tattle. Got the LOBD fence like I'm from Seattle. I'm the GOAT, man, just like iPhones, Apple. I can't be denied just like Ray Lewis, man. You know I'm finna make that tackle. Dickerson, right? I told y'all I'm really the GOAT when I get on the mic. Even the best rappers in the world get violated by these red stripes. And how vicious I get, it's like I'm a python. You know you becoming a legend when the world sees you surpassing your icons. I got the championship belt, I'm no longer chasing. These rhymes are daily like a man named Jason. Shout out to you. I just hit the kill shot like a sparrow. I blow out my opponents, my wins are never narrow. I got Justin Tucker aim when I aim for the head like a bow and arrow. And I ain't talking about prison when I say yeah, send you to death row. Man, y'all already know y'all gotta send this to Metro. Told y'all I'm the man.